We've had an amazing 2 drives out here in the wilds of Kenya and South Africa. This is Safari Catch Up.
Hello, and jumbo, everybody. A very good morning from the Masai Mara National Reserve of Kenya, and I'm specifically talking about the Mara where I am northwest of the Masai Mara. My name is David, and on camera with me this morning is one of the biggest cinematographers south of Sahara, and her name is Imara. A very warm welcome, Imara, and Imara is on her first drive this particular morning, and she'll be running the sunrise safari with me. Of course, that's the eastern horizon, and I'm thinking this morning, possibly we can, to introduce the Topi boys or the Marsh girls to Imara. If you're lucky, she cannot wait to see those boys I've been talking about for like the last 2.5 months.
Oh, have a look at this. Have a look at this.
I'm very keen to follow up with them this fall. I think I remain and I'll try to get to follow.
Very cool. Oh, my word. Looks like she's maybe had herself a kill somewhere. And she's got teeth. Yo, she's got definitely a big bit. Have a look at that. We knew you were somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And with the other lady at the back there, that makes 7. Oh my goodness, there's licking and grooming, there's sneezing, these are, what did you guys put down? What did you put down? Because majority of them all got dirty faces.
Morning, Andrew. So it's just Eric over there. I'm sure he's going to go live. So you can go join him with a second vehicle. I'm not joining that last. I'm just going to go to one vessel.
Stephanie, absolutely.
Thanks, yeah, I'll go there.
It is.
Rwan update is that the thinking
Is a lot of lions.
I'm going to join Rwan as well.
We found another dung beetle. The scarab beetle. We've all seen scarab beetles adorning ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. They were a revered insect by the ancient Egyptians. No doubt started off with the organic material decomposition or deposits, which would have heralded the summer, which would have heralded the beginning of the wet season. But if you understand anything about a beetle goes from an egg into a larvae. Once the larvae has reached a certain size, it pupates. And once it pupates, it comes out as an adult. And now the dung beetle does that inside of the ball. So these telecopterids will design a ball that's big enough to keep its baby from egg to adult, which is quite amazing. And the ancient Egyptians, when they broke open a dung ball and the dung beetle is going through the, what we call it, the pupa stage, it actually looks like a mummy in a sarcophagus. Or does a mummy in a sarcophagus look like a dung beetle?
Welcome here to the Mara and see what we have here. We have a hyena. It looks like she's actually in a den there, and I'm curious to know if there's some pups around there. She looks like she is the matriarch. Look at how big she is. Around this time, you'll find that when the sun is rising, you'll see the hyena pups playing around the den. So maybe she's the one who's guiding the den here, and she speaks something, and I can be sure that by the way she was looking out there, she probably had something. There was an ostrich calling, so that is what got her attention. Well, this den sometimes can be about 3 meters, 2 meters, but they are not always very, very deep. So probably about 2 to 3 meters. Oh, look at that. Cute little pup just popping its head out. Wow, look at that. Look at how black in color he is.
So we've come across a whole flock of southern red bishops. And look at that beautiful red color. They're all in breeding plumage. And they only get this, obviously, during this time of the year. Otherwise, the rest of the year, they're a drab brown. And you wouldn't know, or very difficult to tell, that they are, in fact, red bishops. They're part of the weaver and widowbird genus or family. Very gregarious birds. They nest in colonies. They move through in flocks like this, feeding mostly on insects and seeds. Some insects, mostly seeds. So at this time of the year, they'll be building, each male will build several nests to attract the female. And then they perform a beautiful display in flight with their feathers all fluffed up. Beautiful red colors on them.
One lioness sitting there looking at us funny, eh, Paul? I'm not sure if it's the same one that I saw before, but the one I saw was moving and it was the injured female. Yeah, this is the same girl. You can see her ear. Got quite a scraggly right ear, and then she's got that very bad limp. I haven't seen her. I didn't see her when I was last here. But she seems to be on her own out here. I haven't found or seen anybody else, but it is pretty thick, dense vegetation, and there's a ton of vultures, so something's been going on. And there's quite a smell in the area. We're going to have to try to figure out what it is that's going on. Simon, I wish it was the kudu ears that did it. It was the vultures and the smell that got us in here. We didn't hear anything. Such a lovely shot of a lioness through the thickets. Here we've got a saddlebull stork who is walking away with somewhat of a full belly. And he's just, this particular man has put a platana or some form of froggy in his mouth after washing it off. It's quite an interesting process that these guys do when they he's coming back this way. That they do when they're dealing with their catches. They when they catch the fish or the frog, and they wash it, they dip it in and out, in and out, in and out of the water, non-stop. And I don't know, I mean, if it's for fish, I feel like it's maybe sometimes to get all the scales off, and maybe blunten the spines on said fish. For the frog, I don't know why they would do it.
managed to catch up with the male and female ostriches with the little chickies. And we've done a roll call, and there's still 11 of them. So everybody's accounted for. They've all run up the road, but this one seems to have his own ideas. He's obviously a rebel. He's just carrying on. Not any worries. I hope that that doesn't lead to his demise. His or her. Not sure. Difficult to tell at this age. Well, I think it's almost impossible. Having a good old go on the road there, just feeding as he goes along. Not so sure on its feet just yet. And as I've mentioned previously, I've helped to rear little ostriches, and those feathers are very bristly. They might look fluffy, but don't be fooled. It's very, yeah, like I say, much like a bristles. Very rough. Not soft at all.
Right here, we've come across one of the lioness from the Sand River Pride, and look what she has. She has a zebra carcass tucked in behind the bush, so a good way of concealing it from other predators, especially the scavengers like the hyenas and also the vultures. Cody, this is actually a great find, and thanks to the vultures, because if it was not for the vultures, because this lioness is actually in a valley where we could not have seen this. And also look at her position. She's just hiding behind the bush there. Okay. She probably wants to go for a drink. Having eaten a lot, so there's little moisture from the blood, but that does not supplement with water, so she has to go and drink right now, or maybe decide to get the kill. But let's see. She's still undecided whether to get the kill or go for a drink. What are you gonna do? Okay, so are you gonna go for a drink? Sniffing the area.
And a little one. Fancy kid. Oh, see the trunk full of sand there. This little Lee wants to see what was all the, not the fuss, but why mom was digging there. I'm tired of eating solids. Let me have a drink of milk now. That's a very good question. I don't think so. I think they've, if anything, they've adapted to do more. Adapted to know where the best areas are to get, get all their food and water. Adapted to digging more, maybe for nutrients. No, I don't think they've lost any of their abilities.
So just as I mentioned earlier, it's nice and warm here on the Amakhala Game Reserve, so all the reptiles are out, and we've come across this beautiful leopard tortoise. We've actually seen this individual before. He likes this area around the Leeuwenbosch plains, and these are part of the Chelonia. So it's the shield reptiles, and I've counted the ridges on his scutes, and this individual is round about 45 years of age, so pretty much my age. And they have extreme power in the legs. I mean, just imagine he's got to be able to lift himself up in the shell, which is an extension of his backbone. He's going to now try and move. There he goes. With a massive head. And that's why it's important also to remember that even if you touch a tortoise on its shell, it's touching its backbone, so it can feel everything you do. It's not, devoid of feeling. But what a wonderful sighting.
Now let us listen to this. Ellie ripping the grass. Is definitely a male, and he is very close to the marsh area. And you can see how he's trying to get his balance by spreading his feet, because he is a heavy boy. You can see the feet and part of the trunk are wet. You can see how he swallows the trunk to maximize the amount of grass he's going to pick with the trunk, then to the mouth.
Now, I haven't seen these youngsters for a few months, so I can't really tell you who's who from a size point of view. Gonna have to re-establish myself with this pride. I don't even think I've seen all of them. Okay, so we've got 9. Appears to be 4 youngsters. Tina, you'd love to have this kind of day. Well, you're welcome to. Just find a shady bush, patch of grass, and lie right down. None of their bellies are full, which means they didn't hunt anything substantial last night. I don't even know where they came from. They've obviously been eluding me.
So, come across a couple of rhinoceros with a beautiful Cape Glossy starling just moving around in front of them, happily grazing. Super big lawn mowers. Amy loves leopards. Yeah, they're super cool, hey? Beautiful rhino. This looks like a mom and calf, with a fork-tailed drongo on the calf there. Do some hawking, similar to the starlings, also just using the rhino as they walk through, bumping up the insects. And then they'll hawk, grab the insect, and fly back to the taxi position. Not great eyesight. You can hardly see the tip of their nose. So their best senses are their sense of smell and hearing. I've always said that I think in the future they may even lose their eyes completely because they hardly have any use of them.
What a good timing. We just got here, me and Mara, and this particular hippo with the baby, they're coming out to get a bit of warmth. Why are you yawning? My guess this could be the mother. You can see the pink feet on this particular young one. And talking about the udder, of course you can see if she is going to suckle. See that one foot is very pink. Not sure that's normal, but the front right foot Imara is going to show you it is very pink. And then back in the water again, very tiny baby. I think the mother want her to remain as safe as possible. Maybe the baby, ooh, see how she is enjoying the water. Come on, you need to get to the mammary glands and not the tail of your mother.
Wow, that's so special. Oh my goodness. This lady has brought her baby right to us. Like right to us. The baby is a meter from the side step here. What a privilege. This is so special. Now it's suckling, obviously. When Mom passed us, she must have literally almost scraped. Scraped against basically the front of the vehicle. You can just see her there in the background. A little bit. If I move a little bit, you can see pretty much the perspective of how close she is.
So we've managed to catch up with the 3 male coalition of cheetah that we like to call the Three Amigos. It looks like they have recently had a meal. Those bellies look a little bit round. That's not to say that they won't go hunting anytime soon. We've seen these guys. They can go hunting literally after they've had a massive meal. But nice. We haven't seen them since we've been back. Nor I haven't anyway. These guys are really doing well. They're super established now, and it was reported also earlier that that female cheetah that is seemingly denning, she's been spotted on walkabout. Don't know, maybe she's given birth already. She was spotted going for a drink, so she's doing well, and we're obviously going to be leaving her alone in accordance with the ecology team, so that if she has given birth, that she doesn't abandon her cubs. When she's on walkabout, then we might get to see her, but we won't be going into the den area anytime soon. But there's no confirmation of actual cubs just yet.
Wow, we've got ourselves a hammock here. Just watch what he does when he's in the water. He's feeding on all sorts of little organisms, big and small. Here we go. Look at that. It's doing like the hammock shuffle. See how quickly it's also snatching up all sorts of stuff. So it's very easy for a bird just to walk through all of this and not see anything to potentially munch. But what the hammerkorp does is it's got these pretty big feet, and what it does is it kind of, when it does this hammerkorp shuffle, it's basically disturbing everything that's on the floor. That's just on that layer of mud under the surface of the water that they might not be able to see, and by pushing it around, it actually forces it up. So whatever it is, be it a tadpole, be it a small frog, be it a little worm of some form, be it any form of water insect, be it dragonfly larvae. They do that and they snatch up. Oh, that was nice of you.
These are the marsh gulls. We are always 6 in number. I got 4 now, 2 could be elsewhere. And the one that I'm missing here, one of them is Nasurian and Necrai. Pistria, Big Jumbo, and it is truly a lovely setting just to see them out there, and they all look apparently to be in very good condition. As much as I think they might be looking for some food later today, they look to be in very good condition. So of these 4 females here, the oldest one is called Kaleo, and yeah, that's you. And Kaleo is 13 years of age. I'm trying to remember her mother's name, and she featured in a particular movie, Kaleo, and we think also Kaleo has some cubs. I mean, we have not been able to see them. We are trying to avoid them as much as possible to give them room to grow, and the game warden, the game rangers have sealed off that area until sometimes when those cubs are big enough.
We are on Little Gowrie. As you know, we were on the lookout for lions, as we saw 6 Nkuhumas this morning. 7 actually, technically, including this one. She was moving back in this direction to come and feed those 3 little teddy bears that she's got. 2 behind her, 1 in front, 1, well, not in front of her, 2 behind her, and 1 pretty much next to her. 1 is suckling, the other 2 have passed out, probably from exhaustion of playing too much. It's turned into a lovely still evening, beautifully still. Oh, Dog My Love, from when the first time we saw them, they're definitely a whole lot bigger than what they are, what they were. Hello, little one. Nope, still thirsty.
What a lovely view of the Drakensberg mountain. The sun is set behind the clouds, and the large cloud formation on the left is indication that there's a thunderstorm happening somewhere in the Highveld. You can see the line of the mountain follows all the way left. There's a dark orange bit, and the mountain keeps going, which means that storm is far up in the mountains, in the Highveld, maybe as far as Leidenberg, or I don't know, even Dahlstrom. If you go a little bit more left, I don't think you'll notice it, but there's almost a massive big, there's a tree there, sorry. There's a huge big convection current there of atmospheric pressure that's gone up and forms a huge storm, and it's far away, but we can see it. We can't hear it, we can't see any lightning, but if you're up in the Highveld between here and Dahlstrom, Belfast, maybe Leidenberg, I can't tell how far away that is. It's probably very wet where you are.
That's it for this episode of Safari Catch Up. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you soon on a safari.